also are there. A, B, C, and as well as triple E Mech and all, right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So the main, the concept behind this classes. Let me just make it very clear in the very beginning itself. It is purely students' interest and as well as my personal interest to start this class. And moreover, a lot of requests we have received, especially from EFG, and then with the same interest, I think our principal sir has got some responses from the other sections too. Based on that only, we have scheduled this extra class, and I voluntarily took up the initiation to do this class. So this class is mainly focusing on to the the slow learners especially. So some people, those who are very good at programming, it is not that you have to attend this class. It is mainly to create a bridge between what we teach in the class and as well as the basics concepts. So some students are having some difficulty due to online as well as a jump from last semester PSAT course to this course. They are not able to fill that bridge between the switch to the programming course. That is the only intention behind this class, and I'm pretty sure that ABC section faculty and as well as ESE, MEC and triple E section faculties are also equally teaching well in the class itself, the topics. So it is not to violate anything, their teaching and my teaching, or not to differentiate their teaching and my teaching. This evening extra coaching class is purely based on the students' interest and my personal interest to motivate the children to come up to the programming level, to develop the skill. Okay. Other than that, the teachers, whatever teaching in the particular section, you can clarify your doubts there. Everything will go as it is there in the class. Okay. Both the teachers and myself, we all three are in sync with the theory class, and all teachers are teaching the same in the theory in the regular class hours. Okay. So this is a initiation from my end based on the students' request. So we just thought of doing it for EFG. Since the other section students have shown interest, we thought, okay, we will extend to the other section as well, as I already mentioned, just to improve your skills. So whatever theory class is running, it will go as it is in the theory itself with your regular teaching faculty itself. Okay, this is purely to improve your programming skill. Okay, hope when I say you can understand this point, purely to improve your programming skill, and no evaluations here and no compulsion that you have to attend this class. It is all up to you. You can decide. Okay, and if you feel that okay, you don't want to attend, please let us know that, because already I've collected some responses. Or if you feel that okay, this portion is, I am aware, let me attend the next session, you are welcome, no problem. But try connecting to the topics when I teach. That is the only thing. And any basics doubts in programming can be cleared in this session. Okay, this is not like what we say that okay, it is like you have to follow this, you have to follow this. It's nothing like that. Even if it is a small doubt, why do I use A, why do I use a percentage D, why do I use this, you can ask. Most welcome for everybody to ask the questions. Okay, and some students, those who know pretty well, you don't need to attend. If you want, you can attend to be strong in your concepts. So again, one point I'm making it clear, your theory class, regular class by the teachers, me and Rajesh sir and Srividya madam, it goes as per the syllabus, plan, etc. This evening extra classes only to just support some slow learners to improve their programming skill. Okay. In addition, anybody would like to attend and improve your programming skill, most welcome. Fine. With this, I start the session. So I think I can see some 141. but I have got the responses almost for 280 students. I don't know why it is so less. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But make sure that if you are attending, especially the slow learners, attend throughout the sessions, whatever I do it. Okay. And in case if at all any extra class falling, or if you have any exams scheduled during this particular schedule, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, we can reschedule our class. But I prefer to take 3 hours in a week, and if required, based on the request, we can even extend. Okay, let me just share my screen.
Ma'am?
Yeah.
On Tuesday, we have 2 exams.
Tell me.
Tuesday, we have 2 exams.
Tuesday?
He's telling
Ma'am,
that we
he's
have
saying
2
that we
exams
have
on
2
Tuesday.
exams on Tuesday.
Which section you belong to? What is it you tell
Ma'am,
me?
CSA department.
You inform your faculty there. You want me to cancel it? Tuesday's class is cancelled. Tuesday you have exam, no? That class is cancelled.
Yes,
We will
ma'am.
have
That's
it
what
some
he
other
was
day.
saying.
Yeah, okay,
Thank you,
okay.
ma'am.
That I will put the message. After today's class, I'll put the message.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, Tuesday's class will get cancelled. That is what I said, no? If any exam is there, the group is there with the CR, WhatsApp group. Any concerns, any students, just inform your CR. They will inform me. Accordingly, I'll take the decision. So next Tuesday's class stands cancelled. We will reschedule the day. Don't worry.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
Ma'am, for joining to this class, is there any separate channel, ma'am?
Actually, there is no separate channel as such. Today I just thought, okay, how many people will attend. So I just created a meeting and send the invite to my channel students. So the same link is shared with you all. That's it.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. Because we don't know how many and all, right? So I have not created any separate channel for this. So the link will be sent just previous
Ma'am,
day
like if
or
there's
on.
a separate channel, we can even access the recordings, ma'am. So that's the reason I asked you.
Oh, okay.
Ma'am, that can happen now. So if you record something, it will remain in the chat box.
In this chat box, it will remain. I started
Okay,
already
fine.
recording. So whoever is attending in this, you can take it from this, right? That is how it is.
Thank you.
Yeah. Once if the count is 6, maybe I can try creating a separate channel for this. Let us see. Okay. Fine. So can you see my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
I'll start with the terminals itself. Terminal. It's basically you all need to have your own platform to work on this. I prefer this class to go with the programming part itself rather theory, because theory you are learning in the class. So I prefer only the programming side to do it, basically to improve your programming skill, as I said. So hope you all have some kind of platform ready in your computer, either online compiler. I think all of them are having this GCC compiler. So we prefer you to use GCC compiler. Doesn't matter whether it is a VC++ or VCC or any other compiler, doesn't matter. Okay. So now, first of all, you should have an editor to type your program. Okay. Let me start today straight away with the programming itself. As and when it comes, I can tell you what is a language, things like that. So now, I need a place to type my program. You all know that if you wanted to type something on a Word document, you should start a new file and you will open it, go to file and then write. The same way, gedit is a command because I use a command. So like this, some untitled document you can see here. Okay. Same way your Word, things like that. Now go to file. You can do a save as, or you can do save or things like that. Okay. So I need a place to type, I said. So this is the place I type. So this is how you type. Write something and all in the word you type. Name, address, things like that you type. So you need a place to type. For that you use an editor. Okay. What editor we are using here is a gedit. I am using a gedit. You have VI, other editors. So any editor, doesn't matter what you are using it, it's fine. But remember, you need an editor to type your program. I'll tell you what is program and all. You got it? So that is whatever I am typing here is I'm closing it. Gedit. Why I type gedit? That is one point. Another thing is, after typing the program, you need to compile that program. You need to check some error is there or what, right? So you should have a compiler. That compiler, what you are using is GCC. Okay, what you are using is GCC. I will tell you later how to execute the command and all. So these are the two things I will be using all the time: gedit, GCC, gedit, GCC. Fine. Now let us start the program. Gedit. So this is an editor command. This is a command, editor command. I type gedit. I am just giving the program name as maybe program. Let me put it as simple program. This is my name. You can give any name. Now, why do you put a .c? Because it is a C program. It is a C program. Okay. I am starting the editor. Now, you can look at here. My file name is simpleprogram.c. If you look at here, you can see. Okay. Otherwise, go to file, name the file, save it in the proper folder. Anything you can do. Now listen, students, very carefully. Before me getting into the programming concept, I would like to tell you few things. First of all, I keep on telling you what is a program, right? I'm just telling what is a program. What do you mean by a program? Okay, a program is nothing but set of instructions. Set of instructions, you all know. A program is nothing but set of instruction. Now listen, what do you mean by this instruction? What do you mean by this instruction? The instruction is nothing but what I tell to do. Now I told you 5 o'clock you all attend. That is an instruction. You all join back at 5 o'clock. Or 6 o'clock you attend. It is an instruction. I am instructing you, you are following it. Or you are instructing somebody, they are following it. So you are instructing a computer, do this. Instructions clubbed together, it is known as a program. So the word program is very simple. Students, don't forget, don't by heart. Just remember, you are telling something to somebody. That is telling. Now you are instructing. This is what you must do. That means you must do, right? That is instruction. So now you are telling the computer system, you do this and give me back the result. So whatever you say, that will your computer or your processor will process it. Got it? So a program is nothing but set of instructions. Okay. Now you understood what is an instruction. So we have so many instructions. Irrespective of C, let me put it like this. What is a language? L-U-N-G-A-U-K-G. What is a language? What is a language? You all know that I am using a language, English, right now to communicate with you people. Okay, you all know English to some extent. Some people know very well. It is very easy to communicate, right? We both know the same language, English. So we all use the language called English. What if I speak in English, you don't know? Or what if you speak in Telugu, I don't know Telugu? Or what if I speak in Tamil, you don't know that? Or what if I speak in Malayalam, you don't know that? What do we do? How do we communicate? What should we do? So we go with a translator or converter. Somebody should convert it or converter. Okay. So now you are speaking in Telugu, let us say, which I am not able to understand. So I will ask a person who knows Telugu and English to translate and tell me. Okay, fine. So you need somebody to translate this, some person or somebody to translate this. That is converter. Now you all say that just now you said GCC, right? This is a compiler. What do you mean by compiler? What is the compiler doing? Any language, doesn't matter. Any language, you write a program. You write a program using some language. That means program is set of instruction using some language. Okay. So what this compiler does, any language program, it will convert to binary, which is the language computer can understand. Computer can understand only 0101, where we are writing our program using English, C language. Got it? You all might have used by then the C language, right? So I'm just telling you the basic funda. I'll straight away get to the program right now. So that is why the compiler I was talking about. So the editor is nothing but where the place you type the program. This is a compiler which used to compile the program. Just convert your high level language to a machine level language. Now, you are using English. So now, for the computer, for a program to write, you have various types of languages: high level language, assembly level, machine level, etc. You have so much of category. Okay, different category. Like you say that you are English, Malayalam, that this, or different, or in between. So this is like a, in high level also you have something like C, C++, Java, Python, etc. Okay, so these all are the languages, and assembly you have this microcontroller based languages, and machine level languages, nothing but your binary. Let us not worry about all those things right now. Let us worry about the high level language. Out of C, C++ and all, which language you are going to study? You are going to study C programming. C, that is how you are writing program in C. Okay, now C follows. So C, you are writing program in C using that sum of instructions. Now, what do you mean by the syntax? Always we say that syntax, right? What is the syntax? Certain rules. What do you mean by rule? Now when I write English, I will write Amrita, A-M-R-I-T-A. When I write in Malayalam, I will write ma, like that, right? When you write it in Telugu, the script varies, right? When you write it in Tamil, that varies, right? So it all rules and regulations, when you write, it slightly varies. Here also, when you use C, you need to use certain rules, syntaxes. When you use C++, you need to use certain rules, syntaxes. That varies from this language to this language to this, etc. That is what is known as syntax. So please, students, remember, you are going to learn a programming language which is C programming language. Okay, so let us begin now. How do you start a C program? So hope you all understood. The language what you are using here is a C language. Certain syntaxes you must follow. Now, let us learn how to start a program. So I'm not taking you to the structure of program and all. I'm straight away getting into the program. So in the program, something like you all write hash include stdio.h. What is this actually? Hash include stdio.h. This is something like preprocessor directive. And students, remember, if I put a double slash like this, that will not get executed. It is just like a notes for me. Preprocessor directive. What do you mean by preprocessor directive? In the name itself, it is a directive. It is pre-processed. What do you mean by pre-processed? Before the actual processing, this will get processed. Okay, you will come to know what is preprocessor, don't worry. So now, what are you trying to do is, you are starting this with a hash symbol, and the directive name is include. You are going to include the library stdio.h into your program sample program.c. What is my program name? Sample program.c. Okay, you are going to include this. Why do you include this? Okay, let me just delete this. Let us say, why do I include this? Let me just put it in this main. What do you mean by main? I will start, let me put int. I will tell you what is void, int and all, don't worry. So main is nothing but starting of your program. This says that beginning of your program. Starting of your program. That means, I told what is program? Set of instruction. So what is the first line you type? Int main. So can it be an instruction? Yes, it can be an instruction. What you are telling the computer? Int main. So what will computer understand? Something computer must understand. It must convert it to binary. Okay, don't worry about it, how it is getting converted now. So this is the instruction you are giving to the computer. Okay, now what I deleted, hash include stdio.h. That was the instruction I gave it to the computer. Computer should work as per that instruction. Now the instruction what you gave it to the computer, I don't know what is int. Forget about it because we are learning now. Okay, int space main. So now what is this instruction is, this instruction will tell the compiler to begin your program. What is your program? Sample.c. What is your program? Sample.c. Begin the program. When you compile gcc space program.c, it will start from this point, main. The cursor will be here, main. So what main is supposed to do? Main is supposed to tell that the compiler, this is the beginning of your program. This is one of the instruction now. Okay, understand that this is one of the instruction. Some people may say that main is the function which tells the compiler to begin your program. Fine. So what is function? You don't know what is function. Right now you understand that main is a function or main is an instruction. Function means you will have a name, open parenthesis, close parenthesis. We will discuss what is function a little later. Let me just finish off this now. Okay, so this is beginning of the computer, program. Now what is int? I'll come back to int later, little later. Let me just finish off this. Now after main, this whatever I am putting it in double slash, it is all the notes. Okay, it is all the notes. Now you put an open bracket. What is that open bracket telling? It is just start here. Sorry. Yeah. What is that open bracket telling? Just start from this point, this location. Main is the beginning of your program. Start from this is the starting of your main function. Now let us say I have a box. I have a box, right? That box has got something inside it. So what you will do? You will just open that box, right? So you are opening it. You are trying to enter, opening the lid and then trying to put your hand inside. The same way this is just tells that this is block starting. Okay, so this is starting. Now let me type a simple instruction. Again I am using the word instruction. Let me just type a simple instruction, printf. Please listen carefully, kids, like it is just an instruction. I am not using any other term here. As I said, program is nothing but set of instruction. Always remember, whenever we say program, it is set of instructions. Done. Okay, this is just another instruction. But I said already, when you write A in English, it should be A. When you write the same A, when you try to pronounce it A, it is A in Kannada, A in Malayalam, A in Tamil. If you have a letter, that is how you write. There's a difference. The same way, there's a difference for each language. So what language I am going to use is C language. I use a instruction called printf. You cannot change the word. It is printf. Okay. Now open parenthesis. Open parenthesis. This is a syntax. This is a rule which you need to follow. Okay. Now something I am going to put it inside this printer. What is that something? Welcome you all to the C programming. To the C programming. Simply I am typing. What you type in your Word and all, I am typing it. Now, in Word when you type a sentence, do you follow any specific format? Like printf or scanf? Nothing. You just type line by line, line by line. Since this is a C programming language, you need to follow certain rules. What is that rule? When I put some text inside this printf, I should start with a bracket. After that, I should start with a double quotes. I should end with a double quotes. This is another rule. And I should close this printf. This is another rule. Then I should end each statement with a semicolon. This is another rule. This rule is nothing but syntax. Are you getting my point? Okay. Now, listen. That is why if you don't put the semicolon, you are getting an error. Why? Because you have not followed the syntax. You have not followed the rule. That is why it is an error. Now I put the semicolon, no error. I will show you the error also, don't worry. Okay. Listen carefully. Each statement inside your function or main should end up with semicolon. There are certain places you don't use semicolon. I will tell you what are the places you don't use semicolon, for what reason you don't use also. Now, this is a simple instruction printer where you typed something inside this using a double quotes, you entered with a semicolon. Alright, now let us see what printf does. I am putting the notes also here. What printf does? Printf instruction tells the compiler or tells the computer to print or display what is there inside the double quotes. Got it? What is there inside the double quotes? I repeat, the printf function, printf or instruction. Right now let me put it as an instruction. Later you will see that printf function and all. It will tell the compiler or the computer to print or display what is there inside this double quotes. Got it? What is there inside this double quotes? Okay. Tells the compiler or the computer to print what is there inside this. What is there inside this? Welcome you all to the C programming. So printf is small letter printf. Now I am going to close. That's all my program. It's a very simple program, students. I am using a single statement printf instruction. Close the program. Now I did something, putting my hand inside the box. I closed it. I took my hand out, closed it. Done. Now let me see, will my program run? If it is not running, why? If it is running, why? Let us analyze this. Okay. So how many instructions I gave it to the computer? One instruction was int main. Start the program. Another thing, open the bracket. Another thing, print whatever is there in this double quotes. Then close it. Done. I saved. Control F or go to file, save. Okay. Now I am going to execute. I am going to execute means I am going to compile. That means I need to convert this into the binary language, and compiler tool should give me the output. What is that output? What I am going to print? That itself is my output. Right? Now let us see. As I said, I am closing this gedit window. I am going back to my terminal. I told you already I need a compiler to compile. I need a translator. Now compiler doesn't know, or computer doesn't know what is main, what is things and all. So somebody has to convert. So the person who's going to convert is a compiler, GCC. What is that file name? Simple program. Hope I'm audible. No issues, right?
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So
Yes, ma'am.
GCC is the compiler name, that compiler. And students, please remember, you can use CC, you can use, if you have any other compiler, you can use it. Here it is, we are using GCC, so I am using the GCC compiler. Now this is a C program, I am using this. In case if some students might be doing in C++, they can go with their own compiler here. That is what I said. You understand the concept. Okay. Any language, it doesn't matter. You use particular converter, because somebody is speaking to me in Telugu. I don't know Telugu. So the person who knows Telugu and English only should be translating to me, right? The person who knows Tamil can translate to me. No, that's all. So that way the compiler differs from language to language. Done. And don't forget to put this extension .c. You must tell that it is a .c program. Then only this compiler will take up. Otherwise, compiler will not understand that it is a C program. If it is a C++, you might be using CPP. If it is a Java.java, if it is a Python.py, etc. Enter. There is an error. So it is a warning now. It's fine. Usually warnings will not be a problem, but sometimes the warnings will not give you a output also. So let us say, usually we say warning is not an issue. Okay, let us say whether warning is an issue or not now here. But the warning is what? Include stdio private declaration of printf. Something it is coming stdio.h. Now I did something. Usually if there is a warning, still your program will execute. If it is a error, if it is something which can be compromised. Sometimes it won't execute. So what is the command for execution? ./a.out. It is executing. Don't worry. Usually we need to, I'll tell you for what reason it is executing. Now, so I need to remove this. What is that? Warnings or errors, whatever I have. Okay. Now I am going back to my program. Gedit. Now, did I use #include or anything here? No, but there was a warning. Now, what it says is this printf function is defined under a library. Okay, what is that library? That library is stdio.h. Students, listen carefully. This is .h file. What did I save it as? .c file. So what do you mean by .h? It is a header file. Header file means some program, the declarations, some of the functions declaration, you will put it in the header file. So this is a header file of the library. So stdio.h, it is not a .c file. Okay. Now, what is that you are going to include? Hash. Another instruction you are including. Include. This is the format in the angular bracket. Hash include angular bracket stdio.h. Why you need to include stdio.h? To remove that warning or error, because this printf meaning is defined under this library stdio.h. Got it? Because if somebody changed this print, will it work? It will not work. It will show you an error saying that. Now let us see. I changed the spelling, right? What is that? Is showing that PRINF, some error it is going to come. I need to ID returned X is something error is coming. I need to go undefined reference to print. That means this printf is not defined under the library stdio.h. What is defined under the library? Only printf is defined under the library. So why you need this #include stdio.h in your program? Because you are including an instruction which tells the compiler to print what it is there inside. For that reason, you are including this library. Now, what is that preprocessor directive? I was talking about preprocessor directive. Preprocessor directive. Very simple, students. Don't worry much. I started with main, right? Then I executed the program, right? Even though I didn't include this, it was working because by default my compiler was taking care of that printf. Okay. Now, why do you call this as a preprocessor directive? Is before your actual process takes place, this will be working. Otherwise, you will get an error saying that printf is not defined. So before printf executes, it must be processed in your computer. So it is known as a preprocessor directive. Why? Because this printf is defined here. Okay, now let us say you all belong to one of the section, right? Let us say one example, one student who is belonging to A section. Okay, so if I go to that class and check whether that student is present, yes, the student is present. What if I search for a student who is maybe Harsh Singh? I know his name, so I'm just calling. He is present in A section. Okay, he is sitting in A section. What if I go and check in C section? Will the student be available? No, right? So you have to, whatever is defined under this library only you can use it. So printf is defined under this stdio.h, you use it. If it is not defined, PRITF is not defined there. So I cannot use it. So I have to correctly type this. This is known as syntax. You need to learn bit things. You have to learn. Okay. Now you see your program will not have any warnings also. It will execute now. Now see, did you see any warnings what you saw here? Nothing is there. Implicit declaration of printf, and it is like somewhere stdio.h a private declaration of printf. Nothing. Nothing is there here. It is just you have compiled your program, no errors. So if no errors, go for an execution. What do you mean by execution also I will tell you. You have, as soon as you compile this, one .out file will be generated. Let me put ls and show you. You can see here a.out. A.out. Now this is an executable output file. Okay, you are going to execute executable file. .out extension. You saw .c extension. You saw .x extension. Now you are seeing .out extension. It is just an output file. By default, the name is A. By default, the name is A. So now what you do, put a / for execution. What is the name of the file? By default, the executable file A. What is the extension? Out. Simple. Don't buy heart. It's very simple. Execute. What is it printed? Welcome you all to the C programming. Right? Now, if some people might be running something like, I wanted to give some extension, so some name for my executable file. Of course, you are welcome. You can give that also. Now, it is an output file. You all know that even if you wanted to install something on a computer or install something on your mobile from Play Store and all, you will just click on the executable file, right? So same way, this is an executable file, a.out. It is an executable file of this program, simple program.c. Now let us say, you don't need to know much about this, but I'm just telling you. Now let us say I wanted to give my own name for this executable file. Just put -o. This is an extra information. -o simple. That's it. Now what will happen? ls, you see that there is something like simple is created here. Right? What will I do? After compiling, what will I do? I compiled -o simple. Now I need to execute. Instead of -a.out, what will I do? / simple. You can put even .out. I just used this just to show you. Still I get the output. Okay. So you don't worry about all those things. You just put -a.out. Every time whenever you execute, this A will get replaced with the execution file. That's all. Now I'm going back to the program again to tell you something extra. What is that extra? I have used how many instructions here, students? One is this #include stdio.h. Another one is the int main, open parenthesis, close parenthesis, one printf statement. That's all. Okay. Now, what if I don't put this semicolon? I told you, if you make any mistake in the rule or syntax, there will be an error. Control S or save it. I'm going to execute again. Yes. Just 5 minutes. Enter. Error. Expected semicolon before bracket. Look at here, students. 10 is the line number. There is an error. Semicolon is expected before the bracket. Looking at this, you must be able to identify where the error is. So whenever you get an error, don't be panicked. Don't call teachers. Try. Read what it is written here. What is it written here? Sample.simpleprogram.c in function main, simple program 10th line, error. What is that? Expected semicolon before bracket. So go to that program. Go to that program. Line number 1, 2, 3. 10 means I have used so many lines here. That is why extra lines. That is why it is showing as 10.
Yes,
I will put, yeah. So go to that. Yeah, tell me. Semicolon. Put a semicolon. Save it. Just before bracket you need to put. Let me just finish this. 1 minute. Yeah. Done. You got the output. Yeah, tell me.
Times 542.
Sorry?
Times 542.
Sorry?
He's saying that it's 540.
That's okay. If you want, you can leave. I'll finish this, then only I'll close because it started by 5. So those who wanted to leave, you can leave. I told already there's no compulsion here. I'll just finish it in another 5 minutes, I think, or 10 minutes. Let me just complete this printf statement at least. That's it. Okay, now just put what I'm going to do is I have just used only one of printf statement right here, one printf statement. Now when you looked at the output, I'll just stop in another 5 minutes, don't worry. When I looked at this is coming in a single line, right? The same line where my terminal thing is also coming. So what I do is, listen carefully, I'm just going to make, I'll wind up by 550, don't worry. You can attend. Now I am just going to put a /n. Listen students, this is something like, let me not put right now. I am going to enter another printf statement. Let me just put it like this. I am going to enter another printf. Okay. Printf. Now you all should go and practice this. Now I am asking, I am writing my name, Vanitha. Okay. K. Okay. Close it. Can I type more than one line? Yes. Printf. Next line. Maybe my working place, faculty is my position. Okay. Printf. Amrita School of Engineering. Okay. Done. How many lines I've typed? I've typed so many lines. Will it all get printed? Will it all get printed? Yes, it will all get printed. I'm just writing computer science. Because I'm a computer science faculty. Done. Yeah. Listen.
Ma'am?
Yeah.
Is there any possibility to print any word in, down by down, ma'am, like using one by n term?
You see?
By using by n term, ma'am, like we use the bar and
/n.
yeah, /n, ma'am.
I'm using the same thing. I'm going to the same thing only. Same thing only I'm going to tell. Now you have used different printf statements, right? I wanted to wish you all, welcome you all to the C programming. Vinitha Jain and faculty computer science, Samruddha School of Engineering. Different printf. How many instructions have you used? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 printfs. That's all. Simple. Every syntax is same. Nothing I used extra. Okay. I'll just introduce /n and then I'll stop the class. Okay. Don't worry. Now I'm going to compile. What is my program name? Same program. Simple.c. Yes. Is there any error? No. Sorry. A dot out. Done. Now you see students here. When you read, welcome you all to C programming, Vinitha Jain, KV faculties, computer science. Are you able to understand how it is aligned? It is difficult to understand, right? Now what I do is, I wanted it to be in the separate line. Separate line. It should go to the next line. After welcome you all to the C program, Vinitha and this. Now what do? Just go to the program. Just put one. That is what I just used. Inside the square, double bracket. Inside the quotes. /n. /n will tell the compiler, go to new line. So after programming is reached, what it will do? Go to the next line. Then printf. It is in the sequential order. After first line is printed, it go to the next line. This will not print. I already told you it is a comment. / is a comment. It will not print. Okay? Don't worry. Now it will go to the next line. Same way. After Vinitha Jain KV, you wanted another, it should go to the next line? Yes. In the double quotes itself, students, go to the next line. Now let us see. After that, I didn't put next line. Let me see how much you can see this. Now you see. Welcome all to the C programming. It went to the next line. It printed Vinitha Jain KV. After that, there was a /n. You can see here. If you want, I can put both here. Yeah. I'll stop here. 2 more minutes. Yeah. You look at here. Yeah.
Ma'am, can we put /n before before this faculty, ma'am? or computer science?
Yes,
Or we
you
have
can
to
put
keep it off.
before this thing also. You can put before also. So it will take in the beginning itself. It will take it as a next line, so that you don't need to put here.
Yes. Yes.
If you put there, what will happen? It will take 2 spaces or something like that. That's all.
Okay.
Nothing else.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes. Thank
Good. Good. So
Ma'am,
now, yeah.
is there any command to print like every letter in one line, ma'am, like that?
I'll show you after this. I will show you.
Yes.
Not every letter. Maybe I can put a tab and then show you. That's it. In a single printf statement. That's what you're asking, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I'll show you. Immediately after this, I'll show and then only wind up. I will show you definitely that. Okay. Now you see, students. Let me remove this. This comment will not work anyway. I told you already. Yeah. If you look at here, after slash, and always remember, C programming is a sequential way of executing. After first instruction, next instruction. It comes to next instruction, letter by letter, slash n. Go to the next line. It came to the next line. Faculty. It will print faculty. After faculty, did I put slash n? No. So it go to the next line. It won't go to the next line in the sense it compiles, but while printing after ty, it will print C. See, that is why you can see here. Got it? So to format it, you can use slash n everywhere. Hope you understood what you mean by a slash n. Remember that must be put it inside the double quotes itself. Okay. Now you see your output is so neat. Yeah, every line you have printed. Got it? Now I will answer that question and wind up here. Slash t I will teach you next class. As your friend asked, the question is, maybe you wanted to print in a single line everything, right? Let me just put it like this. Or shall I use something else? Okay, printer. Okay, printer. I think he wants to print everything in a single line with a separate this thing. Printer. Welcome to C program. Done. I'm using only one single printf statement. Slash n. This is what you are asking?
Ma'am, actually, my doubt is like, can we print one word like every letter in one line like that, ma'am, with one bar n?
This is the way?
Yeah, okay, I got it, ma'am. Means we have to use, I mean, if you want to print every letter, means we have to use, I mean, a slash n at every letter.
I think this will clear. Let me see. I don't know what you're asking us, right?
I guess he's asking instead of using slash n in every line, can we like make common like everywhere slash n? Instead of using it every time, we can use once.
Yeah, yes.
I guess that's his doubt.
I didn't get just out only. What are you asking?
Like instead of using slash n for every line, is there any other way to use only slash n once, ma'am? I guess that's his doubt.
Using a tab or something like that in between? Before and then, oh, I think something is there in that extra statement addition. What else I have printed here? Something extra came here. What is it you are asking? I am not getting understanding. You tell me.
Ma'am, like for printing like line by line, we are using slash n in each and every printf statement, no, ma'am. Here.
Yes.
So
I
instead
will
of
do
using
this
for each
tomorrow.
and
Not
every
now.
statement, is there any way to use it only once? It'll, but still it'll print line by line.
But you a different printf statement only are going to use?
Yes, ma'am.
No, you can't do that way.
So that was his doubt, ma'am, actually.
Okay, fine. One thing you can use a tab space if you want. That I will introduce next class, no problem. Yeah, this much is fine. I think it's already 5:50. We can wind up. Any doubts here till now?
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, what if you use only main instead of int main, ma'am?
That is good thing. Do you want me to explain that now or? Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Fine. Maybe let me explain that and then finish it off so that everything is covered today's class. Usually, any function. So this is a function instruction. It is also known as a function. Okay, it is an inbuilt function. You just understand inbuilt function now. I will teach you later what exactly the inbuilt function is. Now I said printf. Printf is an instruction which is defined under stdio.h. So can I change the name of this printf? No. The same way, this is a function main. I cannot change ma. Something which is already defined under this compiler is known as a built-in function. It is already defined, main. So the function name is main and open parenthesis, close parenthesis. Any function, the syntax is return type function name. What is that return type? I will teach you when function comes. So this is the syntax. This is the syntax. Return type function name. Open parenthesis, close parenthesis. What is your return type here? It is I have used integer. What is my function name? I have used main, open parenthesis. Any hello, I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes,
Can you hear me?
we can hear you.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. Any function can return a value back to the calling function. Okay, so you may wonder main is returning back to what? Don't worry, nothing. Okay, right now don't worry about what it is returning. So it is as part of the syntax you are going to use a return type. So what return type I am using, I will teach you in the next coming classes data types now. That time we can clear it again. So what return type I am using is a int. Instead of int, if you wanted to use, you can go for a void. It doesn't return anything. Now, even some places without return type, your compiler, if it is supporting without return type, your program will work. Okay, if your compiler is supporting without return type, but it says that return type by default integer. As per my compiler, it is, even though if it is an this thing, it is coming because it is taken care by implicitly. That means the compiler itself is taking care even if you don't put an integer. But usually it is a practice that by default my compiler is taking int, so I put int. If you put void also no problem. It doesn't return. Void is null. That is the meaning. Why you are using this int void? Because as I said, the syntax itself is return type space function name, open parenthesis, close parenthesis. Okay, all different return types I will teach you in detail, int, void, float and all. Don't worry in future. Is that
Yes,
clear
ma'am.
now? Is
Understood.
it clear? Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
But
ma'am.
this
Thank
is
you, ma'am.
because of the syntax I am using right now, void or integer. Some people may say that okay, you use void, you use void. If you wanted to use int, you use void. Nothing is returned. No
Void is used in such cases when you don't return an
return
argument.
any value back. Yeah. That is what for them. The students don't know argument or will not understand anything. Just understand that it is a syntax. That's it. Because I need to introduce
ma'am.
data type. Yeah. Is it clear? So I stop here. If you have any doubts, you can raise it. Don't worry about scanf. Don't worry about /t. Don't worry about anything. Whatever I taught only today, that much only you should learn. The slow learners for this particular class. Okay? Yeah. I am done. If you have any doubts, you can ask me. So you might have understood my class space and what my intention is. So this is the way I will be conducting here after my class. Okay. Thank you all.
Ma'am?
Yeah.